I hated everything about myself. When I was a teenager, I hated everything about myself. I hated my voice. I thought I had a husky, croaky voice. Hated it. I hated my legs. Oh my goodness. I have calvy, very chunky. I used to think I had chunky calves. Hated it. I was the fattest in my house. Everybody else in my house was trim. I hated the fact that I was fat. I hated my looks. I thought I wasn't pretty. I hated everything about me. And then it got to a time in my life where I thought, okay, there was one thing that actually also helped. I became a Christian, that's one. Another thing was I came across the Serenity Prayer. Some of us know it. It says something like, give me the courage to accept the things I can't change, the confidence to change the things that I can, and the wisdom to know the difference, something like that. And then I realized, okay, there's some things about me that there's nothing I can do about it. Do you know what? Oh, I forgot to say, I hated my laugh. Ooh, I hated my laugh. My laugh is a laugh. I tried to change my laugh, and I started laughing like this. That was a disaster. And I realized, look, there's so much about me I can't change. And in those days, there was no surgery, no cosmetic surgery. You just take what you got. And I decided there's so much about me that I hate that I can't change. I had to learn to love me. And what I used to do, the mirror, I always, when I work with young people, I'm like, get yourself a mirror and then speak to yourself every single day. I got a mirror and I'd stand there, and there's a scripture that would tell me I'm fearfully and wonderfully made, which means that I was made perfect. And I told myself there, I would tell myself, every part of you is perfect. Because like every part of you is perfect. Your voice is perfect. Your face is perfect. Your legs are perfect. And I kept saying this over and over for so many years or months or whatever, till I began to believe it. People look at me and say, oh, you're so confident. I was not always confident, but I began to love myself, began to love everything about me. I still have my calvy, chunky legs, even though when I tell people, like, your legs are so beautiful. But then I realized, you know what? Our aversion of ourselves is self-generated. It's more in our heads than in reality. If I think I'm beautiful, I would continue to believe I'm beautiful. If I feel I'm confident, I believe I'm confident, I act confident. And that's what other people will see. 99% of the time, when we pull ourselves down, it is self-inflicted. It has nothing to do with other people think. And sometimes we think that other people are thinking this way. For all you know, they're not even thinking about you. So don't get fixated about what other people think. The question is, what do you think about yourself? If the things you think about yourself aren't great, then fix it. Convince yourself until you believe it. Until you believe it, speak it. Speak it, speak it, speak it, speak it, speak it. They call it words of affirmation. Get yourself some words of affirmation. Tell yourself you're beautiful. Tell yourself you're the best thing since sliced bread. Tell yourself you're drop dead gorgeous. And who cares if other people don't believe it? Say it as often as you can, and you will start believing it. Now look at me. My leg shape hasn't changed. My voice hasn't changed. My face hasn't changed. But my inside has changed. Because I think I am beautiful and no one can tell me otherwise. Get to the point where you love everything about yourself. And remember I talked about the things that you can change. One thing I could change was my weight. And that got me into doing a lot of sports, a lot of exercise. It wasn't fun at the beginning, but I began to love it. And now for me, working out is a lifestyle. That I could change. That I could do something about. The things you can do something about that would cause you no harm, do it. The things you can't, embrace, accept. And that's what makes you unique. You can't be that person on Instagram or on the TV, half the time it's whatever. It might just be Photoshop. They don't use Photoshop these days. It could be anything. But never want to be like anybody else when you've been made perfect. You've been made unique. Embrace it. That person's perfection is not yours. God made you the way you are for a reason. You need to love it.